Long ago, on the fields of battle, in the year 2017, two men met to decide once and for all what the most metal things in the universe are. For there can be only one. What's more metal? With your hosts, Dan Weber, Tory Ward.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of What's More Metal. My name is Dan Weber. Joining me is a very special guest, one of the darkest and most delightful comedians in Portland, Oregon. Give it up, Tory Ward.
Yeah.
Hey. And also joining us is DJ BJ, the Wizard of Wax, MP3 CPO, the man on the Silver Mountain. He who watches before the walls of sleep. The lurker at the gates of hell. A dude. Metal producer Randy.
I'm here.
So if you're just tuning in for the very first time, this is What's More Metal, where we take two random topics and determine what thing in those topics is the most metal thing about them. So today we're gonna do most metal siblings and most metal Bugs Bunny cartoon. I believe I should apologize to my guest co-host, Bugs Bunny cartoon. Noriko and I picked because we're old enough to have seen Bugs Bunny cartoons, but they don't show them anymore, so they're at a kind of a loss. They're coming at it from behind. I don't know how to
disadvantage.
Really.
So I just ranked my favorite Hannah Montana episodes instead. I hope
That's perfect. I mean, honestly,
Basically the same thing.
honestly, there's like every time somebody tries to like I'm on a show and they want to talk about how What's More Metal works. Everyone gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Every
Everyone.
time. It's fucking crazy. And they're always like, I love your podcast. And then they get it 100% wrong. And I'm like, I think you've never heard it.
Yeah.
The last time somebody said they picked two random topics and then decide which one of those things is the most metal. Like, no.
No.
How would we do that? If we did siblings and Bugs Bunny cartoons, which one of those things is the more metal than the other? Like, what?
This isn't Super Fight.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So anyway, heads up. So, and by metal, we mean what's the most badass, sexy, what's exploded the most shit, or what's killed the most Nazis.
Yep.
In this case, not sure. I don't know if any Nazis are dead in here, but let's find out. We're going to find out together. But before we get to anything else, we like to remind ourselves that the world's still worth living in with giving a little Posicore News.
Posicore News.
I fucked up the intro to that.
It's okay.
I definitely hate hosting this with every fiber of my fucking being.
We're here now. It's fine.
Yeah, I could
Posicore
only do it. I could host the podcast when I was the only person on it.
Yeah.
When I did Reading the Bible with Dan, that was easy.
Yeah.
I just hosted it with myself. I didn't have to give a fuck about anybody else.
Yeah.
Now I have to care, and it's weird. So yeah, we're going to do the Posicore News, which is a little positive news story that happened somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the death of a billionaire. Fingers crossed that it's the case this time.
It is not.
Damn it.
But this is actually a pretty big one. So it was in the last couple days, the Supreme Court ruled on a case that donors for civil rights movements no longer have to disclose their identity, which was a huge problem because people who were trying to donate to like the ACLU or Black Lives Matter or what have you, because they would have to disclose who they were, they faced possible retribution from extremist groups.
Yeah.
So now they can donate anonymously. Like big donors can come in and donate anonymously without having to worry about losing business, having their homes attacked or destroyed. So that's actually kind of a huge deal.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So that's what happened this week.
Yeah. I got to say, that's just a function of how the Supreme Court works.
Yeah.
Like, even though they're all like super conservative, they've got that job forever. So as soon as you're like, you on board with everything I think? Yes. You get in and they're like, actually no, and you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah.
They can just do whatever.
Like this new 6-3 mix we have, obviously not ideal, but they haven't been as like bone-chillingly terrible as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Like, they've made some not good decisions.
Very
but also
pro-church.
Yeah, they've made
There's
some
a
real
lot of
pro-church.
The religious stuff.
They've
Churches are getting a lot of power.
They've also passed or sided with some state recently in a restrictive voting rights act, which isn't cool at all.
Yeah.
But then they've ruled in favor of LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
They did this. I mean, there's a few things they've done that have been like, oh, okay, you're not horrible, I guess.
I've never understood, since it's a lifetime appointment, I've always wanted somebody to like get appointed and be like, haha, just kidding. Like, this isn't what I believe at all.
That has actually happened.
Really?
Some guy, there was somebody, I don't remember who put him in, but I believe it might have been Nixon, or somebody of that ilk, somebody who was that conservative and psychotic. Put this guy in who went in as a super conservative person. Mm-hmm. And then they had a change of heart like a few years after they got in and became like one of the most liberal justices in American history and did all this cool shit. And the guy who put him in is like, fuck. Like, damn it.
That's so cool.
Having somebody be in for life, like, by and large, like, you just kind of expect them, because they put in a lot of young people, right? Like, people in their 30s and 40s, and they're like, yeah, they'll never change. Like, no one is like that.
Right.
Right.
They might very well, like, grow empathy or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, and there's no up until that moment, their actions and beliefs were at least somewhat a product of political pressure, and then that's gone.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or as little as they want.
Right.
As is the case of Clarence Thomas,
right,
who has never said anything.
So recently he actually gave
the
voting rights thing that happened. He gave a scathing dissent over the decision.
Oh, really?
He was pissed. Yeah, he was real mad.
Oh, wow.
He was real mad.
He had to have been mad to actually lift pen to paper and say anything. You made me mad enough to do my fucking job. Normally, for like 20 years, he didn't ask a single question.
Right.
They could have just propped up a mannequin that looked like Clarence Thomas, and it would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
They put a little hand puppet in there for Anton Scalia. It would have been perfect. Because he just sided with Anton every single... His whole fucking thing was just like, hey, Anton, what do we think? And then we're like, we think it's bad. Okay. I'm on board.
Well, glad he's gone.
Yes.
He's a pile of shit.
Yeah. R.I. fuck you.
Yeah.
Anton Scalia. I hope you died because one of the fucking barbed wire garters you were wearing gave you an infection. You sack of shit. Should have made it razor wire around your neck. Anyway. We got an ad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Shockingly.
Again.
Like every week we get a new sponsor, and every week they leave. They leave the day before the podcast comes on.
I really need to edit those contracts to say that we get money up front.
We get money like after 5 days.
Yeah.
Something. So here's the copy they sent me. All right. You like rockets? You love your fellow humans? Have a deep and burning hatred of the soulless monsters killing the planet? Then you should tune in to Billionaire Watch. You and any number of your friends can tune in and watch as at least one, and hopefully many more, rich fucks dies in a fiery ball go fuck yourself in the stratosphere. We will have a death pool that you can enter where you pick the second after launch the fucking douche goes up and explodes in hell. Fuck, that doesn't make any sense what I typed. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read exactly what I typed. And then we all need to figure out what I meant.
Okay.
We will have a death pool you can enter where you pick the second after launch the fucking douche goes up and explodes in Oh, in a explosion of hell yes. I guess I meant,
Okay.
yeah.
You get to pick the second that they explode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whoever's the closest gets a punching bag filled with that fuckhead's ashes.
There it is.
Billionaire watch. You don't want to celebrate their death alone. I fucked it up in the middle. I gave it away. I gave away the secret. These are always written by Noriko or I. Sorry if anybody thought any of these companies were real. They're not.
Sorry if your Google searches were returned fruitless.
Yeah, if you Googled Waiputi, you need help. You need a lot of help. Because that's not real. There is not a lunch meat of the month service anywhere in the world.
That you have to opt out of with a 500-page survey.
Yes. A questionnaire. A questionnaire. It's not a questionnaire, it's a questionnaire. You have to go on a quest to solve it. It's like a fucking... to walk around the city and gather the tears of a gypsy and shit. All right. Anyway. So once again, our two topics this week are siblings and Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Okay.
What do you want to do first, Tori? What do you think is better?
We could do siblings. We can do siblings first.
All right.
Because I'm more familiar with siblings than Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Okay.
Okay.
So in order to decide who goes first,
Uh-huh.
we have to do it in the most metal way possible, which is to roll a 20-sided die. We're going to roll the What's More Metal brand 20-sided die. The 1 says What's More Metal, because they're the number 1 podcast to fuck to by Fuckcast Magazine. And the 20 says Natch Twombo, because Noriko has a terrible speech impediment. So I'm going to roll, and then you roll,
Okay.
and we'll see who goes first.
Okay.
So I got a 12.
Okay. Oh, does it count? Does it count if it's on the floor?
You can roll again.
I got a 4.
Got a 4.
Okay.
So I go first.
Yeah.
So my Bugs Bunny cartoon sibling. Which one are we doing?
Sibling.
Sibling. All right.
Fictional.
Fictional siblings.
Okay.
All right. So my choice for most metal fictional siblings are the Mountain and the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Oh, that is really metal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because one of them turns into like an undead berserker, and the other one has a burned face and hates his brother more than anything in the world. Eventually kills him. The Mountain smashes a guy's brains out at one point.
Yeah.
Pushes his thumbs all the way through his head. Just a monster, just a giant inhuman monster, and his psycho brother. Their hatred powers a lot of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mountain and the Hound. I tried to think of a better. There were other siblings in Game of Thrones I could have chosen.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you picked anything from Game of Thrones.
No, but I think I misunderstood. I picked a sibling, like in a story,
Oh,
a
yeah,
main character's sibling. But I was wondering, so when we were you were talking about siblings from Game of Thrones, because
Yeah.
there's the twins, right? Were they twins?
Who?
The queen and oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
can't remember
Jamie
Jamie
Lannister.
He came out holding onto her foot. Was that
Yeah,
it?
they were
He was-
twins, yeah.
born holding onto her foot. I was wondering if there
It's-
was going to be any incestuous siblings picked. I didn't pick any.
Yeah, I considered picking
Flowers in the Attic.
Cersei and or Flowers in the Attic, Cersei or Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
But I decided that although incest may very well be hot,
Right.
it's not necessarily metal.
It's not.
And
okay.
they didn't do anything. Well, I mean, Cersei does blow up that church to kill one person,
Yeah.
which is pretty tight.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Blows it up with that green fire shit.
Yeah.
And then her son kills himself,
Yeah.
which is also tight. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been, but I mean, if I had to pick which between the Mountain and the Hound were
Right.
most metal, I would say the Hound, because his whole life was powered by vengeance. He only was alive through spite,
Yeah.
and eventually ends up murdering his undead brother. So yeah, I mean, if I had to narrow it down, I'd go with the Hound.
Oh, that's a great. That seems very metal.
Yes, the Hound is definitely like he in a little tiny way redeems himself, but not by much. Like he's never good.
No.
Like they never make it. He's not a good guy. Never a good guy. He helps one person. He helps the Stark. Arya Stark.
Arya. Is that
Arya Stark.
Yeah.
Helps Arya Stark, but not.
And she leaves him on the mountainside, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stabbed to death.
Yeah.
Like stabbed, leaves him to die. I think she leaves him a sword though, maybe. Yeah, but anyway, that was a pairing of mutual hatred for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that show was good. It was good. I liked the show. I didn't hate the ending as much as a lot of people did.
I just didn't watch it. I just didn't watch the last episode.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I just walked away. I've never seen the last episode of Game of Thrones. I've never seen the third Godfather movie. I just walk away.
Yeah. No,
Don't let things I love get ruined. I believe everybody that it's terrible.
I don't even know. See, the thing is, I don't think it's that necessarily that terrible unless you were hoping just from a pure like special effects explosion standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The last episode was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because a dragon burns King's Landing to the fucking ground. Like, kills a shit ton of people. Like, they just fly out of like, fuck you. They were gonna surrender, and you know, the mother of dragons is like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna kill you anyway, and just kills a shit ton of people. I thought it was metal as hell.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't like that. As soon as they started showing dragons fucking things up, people were mad. And I was like, what? This is awesome. This is fucking amazing. Anyway, I loved it.
I should have watched. Maybe I'll watch it.
But you got to go in with the expectation that like characters are going to do things that don't really make sense,
Mm-hmm.
And make decisions that are kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But it's Game of Thrones.
Right.
They went past where the books ended,
Right.
and thank God, really, because
How do you also? We put way too much value on the ending of things.
Yeah.
I think things can end poorly. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a good life full. People put way too much value on how things end,
yeah,
and I feel like the end. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The show can still be good up until the last. It doesn't ruin it.
yeah.
Same with like thrillers. They're like thrillers or mysteries. They're like, oh, the twist was bad. The whole thing's it was good leading up to the twist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. My pick for most metal sibling is the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I was gonna go with the Mountain and the Hound as like a pair, but I had to narrow it down. Now I'm gonna go just with the Hound because he actually talks. Like,
Yeah.
you see him a lot more, and he's powered exclusively by spite and revenge, and that's pretty tight.
Did they switch the mountain out with a skinny guy in the middle? Did the actor switch?
No,
Oh, for some reason I thought the actor switched.
I think the Mountain was the same guy the whole time. It was like
see it.
that guy who's won like the strongest man in the world a bunch of times. Like the Mountain is a legitimate Norwegian strongman. Like he's
shit.
he's 6'6", 6'7", like 380 pounds, like a giant. And his wife is 5'1". And if you see him, it's hilarious. Like she can she can sit on his arm. like it's fucking crazy. And he does strongman competitions and wins. Like he pulled like a fucking, I don't know, some truck. He pulled a semi truck. He did that thing where you pick up like the giant stone and like carry it and then throw it down. Like it's nuts. The shit they do in those strongman contests is fucking crazy. So yeah, anyway, the Hound is my choice. What's your choice?
Well, I
Tory.
feel very feminine now. It's like metal, burn stuff, and let's see. I am going with Shuri from Black Panther. So she was the sister.
Yeah.
She could do some cool things. She could do some maybe metal things, like transform her body into stone. She was impervious to gunfire. She was impervious to energy weapons. She could turn into a flock of blackbirds. She had super speed. She could reanimate corpses, which apparently left her a little tuckered afterwards. But
as would be the case.
it was a side note. They were like, she did need a nap after she brought the dead back to life.
I mean, every time I do it, I have to take a nap.
Right.
But she
Everyone does.
was a scientist and engineer.
Yeah.
That's why I picked her. I was
Yeah.
like, that seems she's the lady in science.
No, I mean, that's a good
She was
choice.
good at math.
Great choice.
Yeah,
And I
that's a
picked
great
her.
choice.
Apparently, the actress though, she had a YouTube video where she was anti climate change and vaccines.
Oh, shit.
It's such a bummer. Which means that somewhere there's a parent who's like, well, she's a make-believe scientist.
Yeah.
she's only an engineer in comic books.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a little
God
bit of a
damn it.
bummer.
Yeah. I really wish that we didn't have that kind of access
Yeah.
to famous people. I don't want to know what you think about. There's a Kyrie Irving, basketball player, and he's said he's a flat earther and shit like that. And I'm like, I don't need to know this about you, man. Like, I wish you're good at
Yeah.
basketball, and that's cool. But who cares what you think about anything else? I don't even know why I know that,
Yeah.
and why you play a scientist on TV. So vaccines aren't real. Like, I don't.
Right.
Fuck
Yeah.
you. I don't even know why I should listen to you at all.
Well, it's also like Elizabeth Moss in Handmaid's Tale being like starring as a
Oh,
super
yeah.
feminist icon
And then being a
Scientologist.
Scientologist.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good actor, though.
She's a great actor.
Yeah.
Like, good God.
Yeah. Real wide set eyes, though.
Mm-hmm.
People tell me I look like her a lot.
You do.
And I know. And it bums me out.
It shouldn't.
And then every time I'm like, I hate it. I'm like the ugly broad from Mad Men, and then they're like, but she was real smart and a hard worker, and I'm like, yeah, you have to be. That's what happens when people don't want to fuck you. You have to be real smart and a hard worker. I bet she had a great sense of humor too.
Yeah.
I bet she was a real trier in the sack. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I know
I've never-
what we're watching after the podcast.
I've never seen The Handmaid's Tale.
Which we've talked about that. I
Yeah.
understand why. It is
I read the book.
Fucking brilliant movie or show.
I know that it's probably very affecting.
Yeah.
But I read the book, and I know what happens, and it made me angry,
Yeah.
and I don't want to relive it.
Yeah.
I think the show has gone way beyond the movie at this point, or way beyond the book at this point.
It's a trilogy of books.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
And
they're
they-
working on the next one now.
Yeah.
The next series.
Oh,
related
really?
To the book, yeah.
God. Okay.
I have a hard time watching stuff that I used to like. I feel like when I was younger, I was like, would watch stuff and be like, yeah, stuff's fucked up. And then now I watch stuff and I'm like, man, stuff's fucked up. Like, the world sucks. Like, it just bums me out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to seek out the darkest movies I could find, the most depressing movies, and then laugh all the way through them. And then came Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
We tried to laugh through that one and could not. Like, it got to the point where, like, this is just fucking bad.
Oh, that movie made me want to do drugs because they're so good looking.
Until the end. I mean,
Yeah.
No, they still look great. I mean, Jared Leto's hot without an arm. Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Jared
he looked
Leto.
great without an arm.
Uh-huh.
Wait, did he lost his arm, right?
yes,
think so,
he's the
yeah.
one who lost his arm
Yeah.
in prison.
And we're all pretty butt to butt. Everybody. Everyone
Every ass looks good when it slaps together.
It's the candlelight of sexual positions.
Right.
It makes everyone look good. So, your choice,
Okay.
Suri. Suri?
Yeah.
Suri from Black Panther.
Uh-huh.
My choice, the Hound from Game of Thrones. So I have a backup. I'm going to pick Leto Atreides, who's he's one of twins that in Dune, Paul Atreides, the guy who becomes the emperor of the universe, has kids, wanders off into the desert, leaves his throne. Leto is his son, wants to become the emperor, goes out into the desert of Arrakis, puts a bunch of like sandworm skin on himself and becomes a human sandworm hybrid.
Dope.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's fucking
He
rad.
gives himself superpowers that way, and then he rules the universe for 1,000 years. Like he comes like the next book is about the end of his rule. But yeah, he's fucking great, and his sister has like all those weird like superpowers that Paul Atreides did. Like she can see the future, and like has visions and eats that psychedelic shit the sandworms crap out, the spice. It's fucking. They're both. It's good. It's great. They did a mini series on Sci-Fi called Children of Dune, and it's
cool.
well worth fucking seeing.
I'm really excited for the two-parter movie that's coming out on
Oh
Netflix.
God, yes.
It looks fucking awesome.
It looks awesome. People have tried. I'm a big fan of the David Lynch Dune movie.
That's with what the fuck is his name?
Colin McLaughlin.
Yes, yeah, I've heard that's great.
See, there's a lot of people that don't like it because it does have one singular problem in that a lot of most movies will only have like a voiceover where the main character is talking for like maybe 30 seconds
Right.
tops.
Right.
David Lynch's Dune has minutes and minutes of it. So you get to hear Paul Atreides' thoughts, which is necessary to know what the fuck is happening. But at the same time, like, come on. Like, it's just too much.
It's a lot of narrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the
Yeah.
book before I saw it, so I went in knowing.
Is that how they do it in the book? Or like or no, I guess books just have internal monologue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
And
the
so you
entire
just
thing. Like,
have
you
to-
you can see their thoughts.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does have an internal monologue. Also, it definitely should never have been just 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what the other thing that I've heard.
It probably should have been the way they're going to do it now, which
Yeah.
is in 2 movies, because it really does have a really distinctive like split. There's a point where they could stop and like it's on a cliffhanger, but that's halfway through the book.
Right.
So that's cool. Yeah, I'm stoked for it. Yeah, we'll see. I hope they do it justice.
Yep.
Because it's a fucking cool book. Stop at book 4. If you're reading the series, if you're out there and you're a fan of this show and you're reading through Dune right now, just do yourself a favor and stop at book 4. I know it keeps going for 2 more books. You do not want to read them. I could even spoil the ending for you of the 6th book, and reading it will not affect how reading the books goes one way or the other, because it comes completely out of left field. Like the last 50 pages of the 6th book take such a hard left turn, just like an absolute U-turn. Like, this doesn't make fucking any sense at all. Anyway, hit me up on Instagram and I'll tell you what it is if you haven't read it yourself. So do you have a backup?
Yeah, man, mine are so lame. I feel
Well, you thought your first one was lame and it
well.
was dope.
Well,
It's
no,
pretty good.
because what happened was I was like most metal, and then I was like, who are some smart ladies? That was my.
There's I mean, smart ladies totally metal.
Yeah.
So my other one was, hold on, let me make sure that I have her name right. So Ender's Game, the sister, Valentine Wiggin, she took on a fake. So she took on a pseudonym, and it was written in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So basically, she determined like influenced politics and made her brother the hegemon. So I don't quite remember if that was like the world leader by creating a pseudonym, and she's like 11, and then going online and then going into chat rooms and just affecting the national discourse and becoming like, she just decided the fate of the world by going online into chat rooms.
That's dope.
Through like just having a pseudonym, and then her brother did it too, and then they would like argue like points, and then yeah, that's it. I just thought it was cool. She's basically good at Twitter. She was like determined the fate of the world because she was good at Twitter,
Right?
And she was very compassionate. Like she was too compassionate for battle school, and so she determined the fate of the world by being good at Twitter.
Yeah,
and I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, the older brother, the oldest brother, Peter, is a psychopath.
Yeah,
so they
he's
couldn't,
like a sadist.
They couldn't take him to battle school because he just turned on the planet Earth immediately.
Yeah.
The girl, Valentine, couldn't go because she was too compassionate. So they had a third kid, Ender, and then they beat the fuck out of that kid and made him a psychopath.
Yeah.
Those books, that book, Ender's Game, is one of my favorite books of all time.
Really?
Oh my God. I would give fucking anything to go to battle school and do that shit that they do in the
game,
the game, yeah, the 0G fucking battle game, war games.
Yeah,
that would be so fucking tight. Oh God,
I really liked the second one. I liked the
Speaker for the Dead.
Yeah, I liked the piggy. There was like a weird life cycle where like there were like these piggy creatures, and then they would like turn into trees, and it seemed like they were murdering each other all the time.
Yeah.
But really, it was like the next life cycle that they had was that one would kill the other. Like if one died, it would then turn into a tree, and that was just like its next step in the life cycle.
That's rad.
Anyways, I was taking anthropology at the time, and I was like, "This is what we're learning about in class."
Yeah, it was. That's a cool. And then
it was just so weird.
They end up murdering a human because they think he should go on to the next step of his life cycle, and they don't understand that like if you cut him open, he's just going to bleed out.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
not going to turn
no
into a
tree
tree
comes out of it.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Whoopsie daisies.
Speaker, they did. Yeah, that guy Orson Scott Card, hella Mormon.
Yeah.
Uh,
and then there was like Ender's very special Christmas and stuff. I don't know if that's what it was called, but there were like weren't there like Christmas ones, and didn't it just get?
It gets real fucking weird, and then he started retelling the same story from a different character.
Bean? Is that his
Bean,
name?
the guy with the giantism or whatever, from Bean's perspective, and then I think from somebody else's perspective. Like, yeah, Orson Scott Card, really great first book of
That
any
is
series.
Making the most out of one idea.
Yeah, and then just beats that horse into glue for sure. God, I wish he would have just stopped. Because there's one. I don't think it's Speaker for the Dead. I think there's a third book.
There's like what are the
Xenomorph or something. Xenophile.
Xenocide?
Yeah. Xenocide. Yeah. Where one of Ender's kids, like Ender has kids, one of his kids learns how to teleport using math, and I tuned out. Like I read it, and I'm like, fuck you, Orson. This is bullshit.
Speaking of endings, I felt very cheated by the end of Ender's Game, because when like they were like, you're like waiting for this big battle, and then they were like, that was the battle, because like they think they're playing like a video game to like prep for the battle, and then it turns out that the video game was the battle, and I was like, well, that sucks. I was just, hey, that thing you're waiting for, it happened already. You didn't. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I always thought that their powers were the weapons that the humans were using were so OP that there was, like, I don't know why they needed any of that shit.
Right.
Because the weapon, like what I forget, the Dr. Matter or whatever, you would shoot something and then it would just like destroy it from the atomic level, and it would come out in a wave. So if you hit something and it was close to anything else, that thing would be destroyed too. And so I was like, why do you fucking even need You don't need a bunch of fucking psycho kids.
Right.
You just need a person to point that at the planet they came from, shoot it, and then job done. Like
Right.
you're
Yeah.
game over. This fucking anyway. That's something that bothered me about the books. I liked it. I definitely loved it through Battle School, and then afterwards I was like, I don't care about it anymore. Like that was easily the coolest part for me.
Yeah.
0G laser tag was dope. I would play that. I would never stop playing that.
Yeah.
I would play that now. Even if I vomited every time I went into the 0G. Still do it. So I think that
I would vomit. I get sick on roller coasters. Oh, that sucks. I just learned that I would be the lame one. Like Tori puked again.
so that's it for most metal sibling.
Next topic.
So that brings us to most metal
Oh.
Bugs Bunny cartoon. Because I went first last time,
No, don't make me.
Tori gets to go first this time.
Hold on, let me just Google most metal Bugs Bunny, most metal Bugs Bunny cartoon. So I had a really hard time because I watched a little bit of Bugs Bunny as a kid, which I don't remember very much of. And then it's really hard to, so then I was like trying to find the most metal one. So then I was Googling like darkest Bugs Bunny cartoon. And every single one was like, oh, you mean the racist ones?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I meant, okay, fine. Most fucked up. Oh, okay. No, those are the racist ones too. So there's one that is based off of, oh man, I'm so nervous. Hold on. Bunny Snatchers.
Bunny Snatchers.
Yeah. That was like based off of, Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, Invasion of the Body, but it was Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers. And so then the characters, each of the characters would like come back as like very poorly drawn versions of themselves that weren't murderous. And then Bugs Bunny has to go get the murderous ones back. Like, no, I need the ones that are trying to, something's wrong. You're not like, I think Elmer Fudd comes up and like apologizes to like, hey, I'm sorry, I've been trying to kill you this whole time. And he's like, oh, something's wrong. And they're carrots. They're these like alien carrots that the characters keep eating and then turning into poorly drawn, non-murderous versions of themselves.
That's incredible.
That's a really great one.
That's great.
And,
I don't remember that one as a kid. I don't think I saw that one. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's it.
So that's your choice. What do you remember? What it's called? The
Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers.
Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers. All right.
All right, let's hear it.
So mine is called Water, Water, Every Hair. It is the one where Bugs Bunny is in a haunted castle being chased by an evil scientist. That hair monster shows up that Randy has mentioned, the giant orange-haired monster.
Mm-hmm.
But in specific, this one, the evil scientist tries to kill Bugs Bunny by throwing an axe at him. The axe shatters a bottle of ether, and then the scientist and Bugs Bunny get super fucking high and float down the hallway and then float out of the fucking castle. And when I saw that as a kid, I was like, fuck yes. That's what I want. I want to get that high. I want to fly around. Just do that shit. So yeah, for sure. It's the one where Bugs Bunny gets high as shit off of ether.
Awesome.
That's great.
The Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers. I think the reason you didn't see it was because it was part of like the early 90s Looney Tunes revival.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I remember seeing that one because it's where Daffy, they superimpose a mouth over Daffy's beak.
Whoa, that's so weird.
Yeah. It's really fucking weird, but it's a great episode.
Any of the I feel like there were a few things. I feel like there was some Nickelodeon stuff where they did the mouths.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Very common.
so
It was a
upsetting.
super big Nickelodeon thing
It was
to do.
so upsetting.
I loved it.
Oh, God.
That shit was my jam.
Ooh, Nickelodeon was so weird and dark.
Yeah. That was my shit, dude.
Yeah, I grew up on.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like it was like income levels because you had to afford Disney. Like we couldn't afford Disney. It was like we couldn't afford to be entertained and also not traumatized.
Right.
It was like all the poor kids got trauma with their cartoons.
The poor kids are like, you get cartoons drawn by pedophiles.
Yeah.
Have fun. You get the predatory cartoons.
Yeah. Ooh. Is the Ren and Stimpy creator? Was he a pet? Who? Yeah.
John K. Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding. That guy was weird and fucked up?
Right.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Who could have guessed?
I have his art on my leg.
Do you
Jesus Christ. All right. So that's it. That's our topics for this week. I picked Water, Every Hair, and you picked
Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers.
Invasion of the Bunny Snatchers. So now is the point of the show normally where we would do the polls. But we didn't. So there's no polls to say. Who knows who won? I'm going to assume Jaren.
Yes. We're just going to say Jaren.
We're just going to say Jaren.
Jaren, you
won.
took the week.
You took the week. You swept it. And I think that's going to be the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be the show this time. It was a great one. Thank you for coming in.
Yay,
Thanks for doing it.
Thank you. This is so fun.
And yeah. Do you have anything coming up you want to plug it on?
Comes out Monday.
Oh, Monday early? I don't have anything.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. I have only Telltale on the 22nd of July. I'm doing a storytelling show that's super fun. You've done it, right? Haven't you done Telltale? Really?
I was supposed to, and then pandemic happened.
Oh, got you. Yeah. So I don't have much else. Oddly, every time like during the pandemic, it was like, I don't have anything. That's fine. Now I'm like, ugh, what happened?
Right.
Yeah.
Why do I have nothing? Oh, I did all of the shows already.
Right.
I have to wait a couple
Yeah.
months for it to come around again, 2 or 3 months.
I was looking at that too at my calendar because I was like, I had a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, was it something I did? And then I realized, like, oh, I did all this stuff.
I did all the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, people are bringing their own hosts at Helium these days. So,
Yeah. It's weird.
so I don't even get to do that. But yeah, that's
Join the Patreon.
join the Patreon.
Bonus content, $6.66 a month.
Yep, real easy. You can, if you give us a little money or prove that you gave some money to a Black Lives Matter organization, we'll send you a die, send you a T-shirt.
Yep.
I think we
got
still
plenty
have some of
those.
that.
Yep.
Stickers, probably.
Got lots of them.
Let's see what else. Thank you to Empire of Pigs for doing the
Theme song.
the theme song. Jesus Christ,
It's all good, dude.
I'm out of my fucking mind right now. I think the other thing that's coming up, I'm turning 51 on July 21st,
Okay.
and I'd rather be dead.
Sure.
And my brain is slowly dying as we speak. It's committing Harry Carey inside my head right now. Just
Cubs win. Just
Kill-
Cubs win all up in your head.
yeah, killing itself.
Oh, I'm selling T-shirts that say Titty Foot on them,
Those
and
are
it's
such dope shirts.
Hey, thank
I love
you.
those shirts.
And I'm gonna tie dye them. I've never tie dyed before, so it might just be brown. But you can buy one. Wendy Weiss drew it because we've been making sketches. But it's a foot with tits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture of a foot with tits on a shirt, and that's it.
That's it. It's great. I love it.
And yeah, you should follow Tittyfoot Productions on YouTube and Facebook and so on and so
And
forth.
if you don't put productions afterwards, you get fun, cool porn.
Yeah, be careful at work. Don't look up Tittyfoot. Somebody has done it. Somebody for sure has had surgery to have titty implanted on the bottom of their foot. I feel confident that that's happened. I don't know who, and I don't know how
Or why.
or why, but
I bet they're fun at parties.
somebody has. Yeah, they just let people, hey, touch my foot. Huh? Jiggle, jiggle. All right, so that's the episode, everybody. Thank you for listening. And until next time, hail Satan.
I'll say.
Rise up to the